grab your popcorn because today is gonna be a story time video. Hey guys, ignore my leg that's in the frame. I want to preface this by saying sorry if there's a lot of background noise. I have the fan in front of my door because people just got home and it's very loud in the living room. Welcome back to my channel if you're a returning subscriber or viewer. If you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe. That would really help me out and it would be very appreciated. If you are not a returning subscriber, welcome to my channel. My name is Allie. I'm planning on posting videos at least on Mondays and Fridays if I can keep consistent with that. If I change that, then definitely check out my Twitter page. Follow that in case I have new updates on if I change the days for when I'll be posting videos and whatnot. Or you can follow my Instagram page, which is also linked in the description. So today's video is going to be the start of a new series on how to cleanse your space, to remove negativity, to allow more positivity to come in, and I'm starting it off with toxic friendships. So this is the second video on my channel and I'm really excited because this is like, technically it's my first video where I get to talk to you guys about an actual experience. So I guess you could say this is definitely a story time about someone that I was friends with for 6 years. It was very toxic. It was not good for me, but for some reason I kept it going and I kept attached to it, which if you want to know why, just keep watching throughout the end of the video. So as a disclaimer, I just want to say that I no longer hold a grudge against this person. I hope they are doing good in life and know that I only have nothing less than good intentions and high hopes that this video will help someone else that is also going through a toxic friendship, or maybe you know someone who is, and this will help you identify that. But anyways, let's get started. So to start off, we're gonna be using a code name for this person. The code name is gonna be B. Not for any reason, but that's just the word that I came up with. So we're gonna call this person B. So I met B in the 5th grade. I had a birthday party that summer because my birthday's in June. It was a bunch of friends. She slept over along with them, and then she ended up staying over twice, which was like a big deal because like me, 12 years old, oh my gosh, my parents are letting me have a sleepover, and not only a sleepover but 2 times in a row. I thought that was pretty neat. Flash forward to 6th grade was a really hard time for me because due to my childhood abuse, I had just been diagnosed with PTSD. I didn't know that I had it before. I had a really hard time making friends in elementary school. I had problems with bullying, stuff like that. But with B, I didn't feel anxiety. It started off having nothing but good times and I just enjoyed spending time with B. But in 7th grade is when it started taking a turn for the worse. It started going downhill that summer going into the 7th grade. B chose other people over me. I started to notice that she wanted to hang out with the people that were considered the popular kids, the cool kids, even some people that had bullied me, which didn't really bother me. I don't even think I took notice of it really, but it did kind of bother me when she wanted to hang out with those people rather than me. But anyways, so the tension had started to build in 7th grade. We started getting into a lot of fights every now and then, usually verbal fights over stupid things. And B had started to lie to me. I noticed that she was lying about little things, almost to one-up me, which was very stupid because I wasn't a competitive person. Plus, I had nothing to be competitive over. But then fast forward to 8th grade, B lied to me even more about stupid stuff, even to my mom. She lied to my mom straight up about things, about grades, things that she had, things that she was doing, stuff like that, which made no sense to me because why lie to my mom? What gain do you have from that? That probably should have been my final straw, but you know, I was young, I was dumb, and I wanted a friend. In 8th grade, the fight started to turn a little bit more physical, such as hitting, slapping, stuff like that. And you know, I did too. I got a little physical every now and then because why would I not get physical if she's getting physical with me? Furthermore, B encouraged me to rebel against my mom, and it ultimately put me in dangerous and self-destructive situations, whether it be with boys, theft, just negative things that I knew that I shouldn't have been doing. That's another thing that I probably should have cut her off at that point. I don't know why I didn't. Again, I was anxious. I didn't want to be alone. So B lied a lot, even in the guidance counselor's office. So I know I keep saying that she lied a lot, but this one's really important because this is when I started to try to break things off with B. You know how in middle school, in school just in general, they always say, oh, go to the guidance counselors if you're having issues with bullying or you just don't feel comfortable, you need someone to talk to, go to the guidance counselors. Well, I learned my lesson not to go to the guidance counselors for my sake. I'm not saying you guys shouldn't, because some schools do have really helpful guidance counselors. But this guidance counselor knew that I had PTSD. And a little fun fact about me, I don't like confrontation. I just can't handle it. I start breaking down completely. I had gone to the guidance counselor. I told her what was going on and that I just needed to talk. This guidance counselor says, oh, don't be silly, and calls B into the office. So I'm sitting there, I'm crying. I can barely get a word out of me because I'm so anxious and I'm upset that I didn't get to just talk to the guidance counselor alone, that she pulled B in even though she wasn't supposed to. But again, at this point, I didn't understand what my anxiety was. So I just kind of sat there and I dealt with it. And I was trying to communicate what I felt was going wrong with the friendship. Things that had been bothering me lately that were going on. You know, I was crying, I was bawling my eyes out. And B showed no emotion. She was just kind of like, nah, who cares? That's kind of like the attitude that I felt was coming from her. Backtrack, I used to talk to my mom about everything, especially when B would put us in the dangerous situations. I would tell my mom, and B didn't like that because when I told my mom got in contact with the grandmother, and she would be put in more safe situations, such as not walking alone by herself or not walking in the streets when there is a car that is practically stalking her every day. She would notice that this car would follow her. I think it was like a blue Mustang or something like that. It would follow her and it would freak her out. So, you know, good friend, go to my mom, an adult. We were like 13 or 14 at the time. And she got mad at me for that. She didn't think I should have told my mom. I was like, dude, what if I just saved you from like getting kidnapped and raped or something? Back to the topic of the guidance counselor. Then she was trying to kind of cover up her lies, tell me that she did and didn't lie about these things, stuff like that, to cover herself. I don't know why she would feel the need to like validate or defend herself. It just didn't make sense to me. So this definitely should have been the part where I said bye. I had an adult, had the guidance counselor with me, but you know, I didn't have the strength to say bye. I just didn't know how to, I guess. Also, I was going through some really dark times, so I didn't really want to be alone. I felt like she was my only friend, so I didn't want to say bye. I was really depressed and stuff. Like, this was a really dark time for me. So now I'm in 9th grade. The previous summer was kind of rough with B because B got into a new group of friends who were completely opposite for me. They were more of like the party people. I'm just gonna put it at that. Things that I would definitely not get into because I was the good girl, as everyone put it. I was introverted and I tended to try to stay out of trouble because I just didn't want the confrontation when I got caught. Mind you, a few of these people I had already known from a few years back. Negative experiences for the most part. I warned B about that, but she chose them over me. I wasn't the kind of person that would try to control her friend group, so I was just like, okay, whatever. I hung out with them a few times with her, and you could just feel the tension, I guess. I just felt like I was left out. I didn't feel like I really fit in with them because I didn't. I wasn't like them, which was okay. I didn't judge them, and I definitely didn't prevent B from being friends with them because that's just not the kind of person I am. Just because they weren't good for me doesn't mean that they wouldn't have been good for B. One of the girls had even spoken bad about me to B, and the way I found out about this was because B was the one that told me If I had the screenshot still, I would definitely pop them up on the screen, but that's in a flash drive somewhere, I don't know where. So she's talking bad about me because of some post that I posted on Instagram about my birthday. It was kind of dark and depressing, but you know, shocker, I was depressed. And B, her simple reaction was, oh, that's just how Allison is. What? So it hurt a lot because B was supposed to be my friend, you know? Friends are supposed to defend you, and she did not. So I did something stupid, and I confronted the girl online on Instagram, which was, oh my god, it was so stupid. We ended up getting into an argument through the comments, and B just didn't care. She simply said, you better stop before she like stuff blows up. And I'm like, it's already blown up. And she continued to hang out with them, so that's great. Forget about me, right? Fast forward a little bit to 10th grade. 10th grade was a really bad time for me also because of something that happened that involved B and another girl. I had befriended this girl my freshman year. We got along pretty well. We shared a class together in freshman year. We ended up sharing another class together later. I thought that we were pretty good friends. Her boyfriend was on the basketball team and the baseball team, which I guess is how B ended up befriending her, because B's boyfriend was also on the baseball team. I don't know how it happened. Even through the drama and stuff throughout that entire year, mostly in the beginning, supposedly things had been happening. A situation had occurred that supposedly I was a part of. I have absolutely no idea how I was a part of it. I have no recollection of doing what they claimed I did. But if you want a video on that, I can totally post a whole separate video on that. But anyways, so throughout 10th grade is when B and I started to kind of fade. Our friendship started to kind of like dissipate into thin air. And I noticed that she was hanging out with that other girl a lot. And it just kind of bothered me because B knew what was going on. She knew before I knew, which makes no sense to me, because if it involved me, how did I not know till a few months after it had like supposedly transpired and like became a thing? But even through the drama and the pain that caused me, she continued to be friends with her, talking to her, giggling with her. When I used to go up to her and she was hanging out with her, I would like hear B laugh, and it almost felt like she was laughing at me as I was walking away, because you know, I still said hi to the girl. I tried to talk to the girl, be like, hey, what's up? I don't know what happened, but people are saying that I did this and I don't even remember that. I don't even have proof in my phone that happened. So it just kind of confused me, but I just always felt like maybe they were talking about me, maybe they weren't, maybe it was just my anxiety, but that's just how I felt at the time. And that kind of had lasting consequences throughout my 10th grade year. I really feel like my 10th grade year was ruined because of all the drama and stuff and all the anxiety that I felt around certain people that I really couldn't avoid because of my classes. Another topic was jealousy. B was very jealous when I made new friends. She acted as if she knew them the same time that I knew them when she did not. It was very strange. Like anytime I would have a new friend, B would like run up to them and be like, oh my gosh, hi, and like just as if she knew them. She was only there for me when that person and I had tension. She would like slither her way in, and like sometimes she would badmouth them, or sometimes she would like try to get closer with me. It was kind of like a tug of war game. Sometimes she wasn't there for me. Sometimes she would take advantage and just kind of like pull me back into her. Boys especially, I noticed that she tended to date or go for the guys that had gone after me or that I had tried to talk to, but it just didn't work out, which is like the golden rule of friendship is you don't date your friends' boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, people that they had feelings for. I had tried to talk to B about her problems, but it didn't change anything. I was in denial that it was always my fault. So, you know, I was always apologizing, trying to talk it out, and that I needed to change. That was very, like, kind of stupid and naive of me. But I definitely learned from that. You should definitely not have to take full blame when it's two people. It takes two to tango. You know, some things might be your fault, but more than likely the entire situation is not your fault. You shouldn't have to apologize for things that you have no control over or that are not your fault. The end of freshman year was when I met my boyfriend. He was very troublesome in the beginning. We started getting closer and he just became overall a better person. If you guys want a video on that too, definitely drop it in the comments that you want to hear about my story, about how my boyfriend and I met and the things that we went through in our relationship, because it was tough. Later on, beginning of sophomore year, is when him and I really started kicking things off, and he was there for me when B was not. When I was going through really bad things with B, he was always there for me. One thing that I would not have forgiven myself if I had let her come in between of me and my boyfriend, because yes, it wasn't good at first, but she would always kind of like talk crap about him, which I'm guilty. I joined in because I was salty of our breakup and what he had done. So I kind of joined in on that, which was dumb of me, naive and selfish. I should not have done that, but she didn't have the right either to start it. She tried to get me to not be with him because when he started to be in his little changing phase, it was really good. He would like tell me all these cute things and stuff just to make me happy, and she would be like in my ear like, where have I heard that before? He's just gonna break your heart again. So yeah, I'm just really glad I didn't listen to her complaints about him. I wouldn't be happy and I wouldn't be as blessed as I am today because I have him, and oh my gosh, I love him with my entire heart and I trust him with my life, which I definitely could not do with B. My boyfriend kind of ties in with some situations that happened because in the 10th grade I had a hemiplegic migraine, which is basically a migraine that mocks stroke symptoms. It's really hard to trace, but the doctors and I figured it out together that it was a hemiplegic migraine. And that was kind of like the start of my problems that I started having with my medical history and stuff like that, that I'm just now getting diagnosed with because, you know, people in my life didn't take me to doctors that I needed to see. Anyways, so I went to the hospital for a week and I had people like blowing up my phone like, are you okay, checking in on me, and then I was gone for another week on bed rest, which hurt so bad because I had to get a spinal tap. And if you know what a spinal tap is, it sucks. It's where they take the fluid out of your back. It's literally the tiniest needle and it hurt so bad. They said that it would feel like a bee sting after numbing it, and now I'm terrified of getting stung by a bee because that hurt. So guess who never messaged me, never showed up to the hospital to check on me? Ding ding ding, it was B. She never decided to stop by or message me to see if I was okay, because literally I thought I was like dying or something because this had never happened to me. I had migraines before, but not like this. Like this was bad. Like I couldn't talk and my vision was going out and my right side of my body, my entire right side of my body just went completely paralyzed. So I found out later from my boyfriend that she had gone to him to ask him how I was doing, which I thought was weird. Like, you're not going to talk to me, but you're going to talk to my boyfriend? Like, what? I just thought that was really strange again. But I mean, at this point we weren't really talking that much, so it didn't really bother me too bad. So yeah, you've made it to the end of the video, the last few minutes, why I held on to such a toxic friendship. So the reason why I took on this toxic relationship for 6 to 7 years was because I had a lack of confidence. I had low self-esteem. I was depressed and always anxious. But most of all, a toxic friendship to me was better than being alone. It took a lot of reconstruction on myself and my outlook on life to finally let go. I slowly stopped talking to her, or at least like waving to her in the hallway, because that was my way of holding on to the friendship, was at least waving hi in the hallways at school. I did that to end on a less harsh note. I don't think I ever actually messaged B and was like, hey, I'm trying to remove the negativity in my life, trying to make my life more positive. I don't think we're good for each other anymore. We clearly have different interests and we're just growing and we're growing apart, so I don't think we should be friends anymore. Instead, I just slowly let it go, just to end on a less harsh note. I also started surrounding myself with people who actually loved me and cared about me and wanted to see me do great things. especially during my senior year. I started achieving a lot of good things in my senior year. Started getting awards, my grades were great, my service hours, I was getting really involved in my community. I achieved top 10% of my graduating class, which was awesome. It was a lot of hard work. I can do a video on that if you want to know how to achieve that as well. Does it still hurt? Yes, it does. And I think it always will, because when you have someone that close in your life and you lose them, you will always have a piece of them in your heart. Like, honestly, I don't want to become friends with B again or get involved again, but came down to it, I would definitely help her in a heartbeat if something was going wrong, just because that's the kind of person I am. I don't hold grudges against people. I would say that if I would have made this video a few years back, like I was originally planning to, it probably would have been made with anger, naivety, a little bit childish and hurt, just because I hadn't come to terms with it yet. I didn't accept it. I didn't accept that the friendship was toxic. I was hurting inside, because with PTSD, you relive traumatic experiences. Even the little smallest thing, if that's traumatic to you, then that's what's going to play back in your head all the time, at night, when you're alone, in the car, just throughout the day. And it hurt me so bad, and it upset me that I had not left the friendship sooner. But honestly, if I had left that friendship sooner, I wouldn't be able to share my story with you. But today I accept it. I accept it for how it is, and I forgive myself for not letting go of the friendship sooner. So I want to end this on a positive note. A friend is someone who you can confide in, trust in, and only wants the best for you. Communication is key to a healthy friendship. If you have doubts, talk to your friend, but don't be afraid to confide in an adult or someone close to you if you feel like you are in a toxic friendship or even relationship. Try to live in a healthy manner, and remember to love yourself. So that's all, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to be posting another video very soon, and that's going to be how to identify a toxic relationship / friendship, and ways that you can expel that from your life. If you are excited to see more videos, definitely subscribe, like this video, so that I know that you guys enjoyed this and you want more story times, because I definitely have other stories that I can tell you. I hope this helped you guys, impacted someone in a positive light. Follow me on my other social media accounts. Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff will be down in the description box. Thank you for watching. I love you guys all, and I hope that your lives are filled with positivity and light.